Hello everyone, thank you for joining me. This is Vickie Burley, a rock and roll prophetess. These are going to be your September of 2016 free video readings. I'll be using the Rock and Roll Tarot deck, which is my own creation, and then we'll pull a card from the Beast Mistress Animal Oracle cards, which is my own creation. As always, I have a whole bunch of stuff here. If you're learning to read tarot, you can check out my book, Tarot in the Modern World. I also have several adult coloring books. You can find all that up in the eye in the sky, along with how to get readings and different things from me, the readings and wares that I offer. I did a kind of a cool little funny video this month, if you guys have time to check it out. It's called Find Somebody to Blame, and it's sort of sarcastic, and it's sort of like this country tune. It's supposed to be halfway funny, so if you have a minute, check it out. You can find a link below on that one. And if anybody out there is a country musician and you want to record it, definitely get a hold of me. I would love to see that happen. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and explain a little bit about how the readings work before we get into it. If you already know how the readings work, you can go ahead and skip ahead. First of all, when I pull the cards, I want you to pick a color. And then when the color shows up in the spread, that could contain a special message for you. When I pull the cards, I'm going to hold them up, and I want you to take time to look at each card. These cards were designed to speak to your subconscious mind. If it looks like it says something else, like for instance here, the word motion is contained in emotion. If that stands out to you, or even if it looks like it says something completely different, go with it. That's spirit communicating with you. This is empowerment tarot. I'm not trying to tell you how to lead your life, and nobody should. You should not give your power away. This is for you to activate your own intuition and find things in here and allow these cards to speak to you. If you do not get your message through this reading, be sure to check your rising and moon sign. The other thing is when the court cards appear, and the court cards would be the knights, queen, kings, and pages. Traditionally, a knight is a male, knight, king, and page are males, and the queen are females. But in these general readings, they could be male or female. So I may refer to, like if it's a king, I may refer to it as he, but really it could be he or she or anybody. Learn to trust your intuition and go with the flow on these readings. I hope that you get a special message out of here. Take time to look at each card and pause the video if you have time. Without further ado, on to your free readings for September. Hello Aquarius, thanks for joining me for the September of 2016 Taroscope and Animal Totem. I'm going to get right into it. What is going on in September for Aquarians? Let's have a look here. Aquarius, September 2016. Aquarius, September 2016. Aquarius. I got two here. Oh, I got like three. I feel like I want to put them out though. Okay. One more for Aquarius. Okay. Here we go. Well, there are. I'm mentioning the new and full moons for everybody this time because there are eclipses, and the new moon is going to be on September 1st. Eclipse in Virgo, new moon eclipse in Virgo, and then the full moon is going to be on the 24th in Pisces. Okay, so full moon eclipse, new moon eclipses bring new things in, start new beginnings. Full moons are the culmination or releasing. Okay, well this Five of Cups was the first card out for you guys, so it's like, don't look at, it's sadness, but it's regret, is really the biggest thing of it. Looking at the past, looking at the spilled cups, looking what's gone wrong. Turning your back on not only these full cups here, but this King of Pentacles, who seems to be somebody pretty cool for you. Somebody pretty darn cool here. So King of Pentacles. Possibly an earth sign, Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo. We are going to be in the time of Virgo for most of the month until the 22nd. So it could just be, in this time of Virgo that we're going to be in. Kings are always older, more mature, more seasoned. They're not childish. They're grown-ups. They behave in a grown-up manner. Often the King of Pentacles, sometimes that has to do with money. Could be finance, bank, or your boss at work, investors, business partners, you know, and things like that. Whoever this is, though, Star is right next to them, he or she. And the Star is a major card, and it's a beautiful card. And Star is that spirit guides and angels are bringing this person into your life. That this is a blessing. This is some kind of heaven-sent blessing thing, okay? So it's really good, and it's very positive. Now, the central card and what the King of Pentacles lines up with here is this Three of Cups. So the Three of Cups is about celebrating. It's about getting out and being around people. It's about, you know, doing fun things. It's not about really focusing on this. Like, oh, I got to find an investor. I got to do this. I got to do that. It's more about, come here, buddy. No crying. No crying in baseball or Mom's doing the readings, okay? You be a good boy till I finish the reading, alright? Okay, so back to this. Three of Cups. Celebrating, having fun, socializing, being around people. Often this does refer to an actual thing. Like a wedding, an official celebration, you know. We will, in America, we do have the, is it Labor Day, Memorial Day, Labor Day weekend, I guess. I think that might be that first week. Oh, you know, so it could be a holiday. Excuse me. Oh, it could be a holiday. Whatever it is, you need to participate. You need to go do it. Some kind of a fair or event, do it. You know, the devil's in reverse here, right next to it. And devil in reverse is like release from bondage. And the bondage could be this being down in the dumps, and be looking at what went wrong, or like making excuses. Well, I can't go to the festival because this, I got all this work to do, and blah, 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 blah. Let that go. Let that go and go. You know. The other thing that it does line up with is the Two of Pentacles in reverse. So this way it's like I'm worried about money, or oh, this if I go to this thing I might spend too much money, or you know, you know, don't let any of that stand in your way. Three of Cups is like, get out there, go be around people, have a little fun. It's going to help you. It's the central card, and it's also lined up with this, you know, the Star thing too. Because he might be there, he or she might be, you might meet this person there. Or you, for some of you, I'm getting like having this experience is somehow going to help you. Not in just like in a weird way that you wouldn't think of. Like maybe you'll see something that you'll get an idea for, it'll trigger an idea. Or I feel like for some of you this is going to be like, you know, you might learn something that comes in handy when you're trying to deal with this guy. You know, like he might say, oh, well, I'm interested in, you know, my fine, I'm picking up like little glass statues or some weird thing like that. And then maybe you were at the craft fair and saw these glass statues, and then you can strike up a conversation with them. I mean, it's just something weird like that. I'm not saying that's exactly what it is, but it's something weird like that. You know, it's something like, God, if I hadn't gone to that craft fair, I would have never talked to the vendor about these glass sculptures, and I never would have, you know, that would have been my door in to, you know, to talk with this guy about that. You know, it's something so out there and just off the wall. It's like that. It's so, you know, that it's nothing that you could have ever planned, you know. It's like, I better go to the fair so I can learn about, I know this guy's into glass sculptures, I'm going to go to the fair and learn. No, it's just go to the fair, some kind of weird thing could happen. And like you could pick up this little bit of knowledge that would help you later. That's kind of what I'm getting about it. Alright, you got that Seven of Cups there. Seven of Cups is a card of visualizing. Creative visualization, dreaming of what you want to do. Either what you want to do, like as far as, or what you've always dreamed of, you know. And the fact that it lines right up with Star is fantastic, you know. Because it's almost like, you know, Star, here's your prayer. I'm hearing that. Dream the impossible dream. Is that Frank Sinatra or somebody? To dream the impossible dream, to right the impossible wrong, da-da-da-da, the impossible moment, something da-da-da-da-da-da. I think it's Frank Sinatra. It's one of these old-time songs, but I'm hearing that in my head, so those lyrics could be relevant. If anybody thinks of it, if I don't remember, you know, find them and put them in the comments, or look at it on your own at least, because there could be a message in those lyrics for you. That often will happen. Okay, down here at the bottom, after we got this Two of Pentacles, oh, this just turned into a big flying bird for me. Fly the bird flying away. And this is freedom too. So there's some kind of message about freedom. Well, you guys like your freedom anyway, you guys, you Aquarians. You know, you're freedom loving to begin with. Because we've got the 2 pages, fire and water. Must have made you their daughter. You got what it takes to make a grown man's heart break. But anyways. Pages. All the young dudes carry the news, as I always say, right? So it's usually messages. So we can tie this back into this 3 of Cups for sure. You know, you may get this message at this fair. It's one of the... And I just feel like for a lot of you, it's just going to be this weird random thing. You know, like a weird thing that comes up in conversation or something. And I keep calling this a fair, but it just could be anything. It could be, you know, like all the things I mentioned in the beginning. Anything where there's people gathered and socializing and stuff. Weddings, whatever. You know, with these 2 pages here, I've just heard out of the mouths of babes. You know, so it could be just some crazy thing that some kid says, a child says. Or you might even overhear, or something like that. But there does seem to be news coming. You know, news is coming, and it's good. And it's like it's on 2 fronts with the 2 pages. Like it's this news comes and this news comes. It's like, it could be like 2 different things. Or you hear about this and then you get reinforcement from another way. Especially if there's some weird synchronicities going on. So I'm just going to continue on with this going to like an art fair scenario. Of course, again, it could be anything. But, you know, say you go to the art fair and you walk in and you go, oh, look at those cool glass sculptures. Isn't that cool? You know, and, you know, that's thing number 1. And then you're walking down and then there's another people talking and say, you know, I heard this glass sculptures are blah, 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 blah. So even if it's not glass sculptures, I don't know, I'm kind of seeing these little glass tchotchkes or glass blower guy or something going on, like handmade glass blown things, it looks like to me. So it's maybe relevant for 1 or 2 of you out there, but, you know, it could be like, if you hear something more than once, you know, like, oh, that guy was just talking about birds. He was just talking about migrating birds, and then, you know, you're walking a little bit later, and that guy was talking about, how weird is that? You know, don't just throw that out the window like, oh, you know, it means something. That's what I'm trying to tell you. In a roundabout way, that's what I was trying to get to. It could totally mean something, and I feel like for a lot of you it does. But it's going to come in passing. I don't feel it's going to be like a real direct thing, like somebody comes up, here's a manual on glass blowing because you're going to have an interview with a guy who's interested in glass blowing. You know, it's not going to be that cut and dry in any way. It's going to be just sort of like floating in the wind, they're saying, like the bird. You know, it's going to be kind of like floating in the wind. And you have to be, you know, you have to be not alert. Alert is not the right word. Open. You have to be open enough to catch it and hear it and not be, you know, narrow-minded about things, which you guys usually aren't anyway. But anyways, let's go ahead and get your animal totem for the month. Looks good, though. Looks good. Star is there. Spirit guides and angels are with you this month. All right, Aquarian, what's going to be your animal totem for the month? Oh, look at all those cards. And I have 1 in my hand, so I'm going to go with the 1 in my hand. Squirrel. Okay, take a sec to look at it. All the cards. When I hold them up, look at them. Freeze, pause the video, look at them. Okay. Squirrel, plentifulness, planting seeds for future prosperity, moving with balance and grace, moving with balance, grace, and speed, healing through grounding in the earth. Okay, well, you know, I always say, I feel like the squirrel is a major abundance card, and it is, you know, it is to me. And this guy seems to be bringing in abundance and prosperity too. You know, I feel like a lot of things, if you've been in a bind over some money, this is definitely showing that this is releasing, you know. And I said this for one of the other signs, but I feel like it applies to you. You know, you gotta maybe find that youthful exuberance with these young people showing up here, these pages, you know. And squirrels are that way, you know, they're very playful. You know, you think of squirrels and you see them running around and playing with each other. And that's what it's kind of telling you. I think get out and play. Have some fun. Frolic, I think, is a word I use in here somewhere. Well, maybe not. I thought, yeah, I did. Playfulness, frolic and play. Yeah, plentifulness. It's right in the very beginning. So frolic and play, you know, that's the key. That's the central card here, and that's showing up in your animal totem too. because not only does it's good for the soul and everything, but I feel like you're going to be picking up little nuts. You know, you're going to pick up little nuts along the way, little seeds and nuts along the way, okay? Or maybe this is just networking either. It could even be networking that you're not even realizing you're doing. You know, sometimes that happens. You don't even realize it. And then somebody says, oh, I remember I met you at the glass blowing fair. And you know, and these things just happen in crazy ways. You can't, it's unpredictable. You can't predict it. Okay, thank you guys all for supporting me through buying up all my wares. You can find out all that information up in the eye in the sky. I'm working on a new website. It should be done soon. I don't know. I'm just dragging my heels a little bit. Don't forget to hit subscribe down here so you never miss a forecast or a post. I don't overpost, so I won't bombard you. Thank you for liking, sharing, commenting, and donating. It really makes a difference for me to keep doing these free videos for you guys every month. Remember, you are love and beauty incarnate. Have a great month of September, and I'll speak to you soon.